The National Weather Service says there's now more than a 90% chance of a very strong El Nino this fall and winter, with a 69% chance it could reach historic levels.
But even a historic event does not guarantee historic rain. Eyewitness News reporter Maria Celeste Alfaro explains what the latest outlook could mean for Kern County. Maria.
That's right, Michael and Rochelle. Experts are saying that El Nino is getting stronger, with computer data showing it's nowhere near done yet. While we have had these events before, this one has the potential to reach historic levels. I spoke with two meteorologists who break down what this could mean for Kern County. Scenes like this could become more common as we head into fall and winter.
El Nino, in a nutshell, is a warm-up of the equatorial Pacific across the eastern ocean from South America west to south of Hawaii.
A strengthening El Nino in the Pacific is raising the chances for more rain in California, including here in Kern County.
Odds are tilted that we will receive at least some above average precipitation for this fall through in the winter as well as into the spring.
Brian Oakes with the National Weather Service says the Nino is getting stronger, with it possibly becoming a historic one.
The 69% chance is basically looking at reaching 2.5 degrees Celsius, which that would be the record highest since 1950.
But even if El Nino reaches that historic mark, it doesn't guarantee a historically wet winter. Chief Meteorologist Ilya Neyman points to El Nino events back in 1982 to 83, 1997 to 98, and 2015 to 2016.
The last three very strong events have led to at least normal, quote unquote, if not above normal rainfall. There could be flooding, flash flooding, which we know our area is certainly susceptible to. There could be snowfall impacts in the mountains if enough cold air comes in with some of these events.
If the storms line up this winter, Neyman says there are several areas to watch for in Kern County.
So it does seem like the odds are in our favor in terms of having at least an average, if not a significantly above average rainfall year. But of course, we really don't know. We just have to watch it play by play, day by day.
The greatest impacts would typically come during the winter months, December through February, potentially continuing into spring. Forecasters say they will be able to better predict the impact that El Nino will have on the Central Valley as we move closer to the seasons. But for now, experts will continue to monitor the weather. In studio, Maria Celeste Alfaro, Eyewitness News.
We are tracking that El Nino tonight as it continues to build even more. This has been a long haul, not just over the last several days, but weeks and months now. Here's a view everybody can see the brewing El Nino and strengthening at this time. Right now, this event already is stronger than many events that have peaked in the winter, and we are nowhere near done with the intensity yet. Here is a zoom on in. You can see the anomalies, or how much warmer than average the water is along the equator. Now, this is a very natural event. It occurs every several years to varying extents and intensities, but this particular season looks like it could be a sizable one, to say the least. Already, this is really remarkable. The temperature of the water is nearly 10 degrees Fahrenheit above normal along the equator, west of South America, extending many hundreds and thousands of miles out to sea with a growing and strengthening El Nino. So what exactly does that mean, and how does this work? The warmth over the equator really develops here, and the warmth of the water feeds the instability of the atmosphere, and that in turn develops big thunderstorms that typically aren't found in this part of the world because the water is typically so much cooler than necessary, but not with El Nino. And the stronger the event, the more prolific the convection or the thunderstorms can be. In the wintertime, that has a tendency to affect the storm track, causing high pressures to build up in certain parts of the world and low pressures to dominate elsewhere, and a strong jet stream to kick across the southern tier of the U.S. from California to Florida and places in between. Now, not every El Nino is the same, but some of the stronger events do resemble more or less of a pattern that is historical, and this is kind of what we would expect. But let's take a look at what actually has occurred over the past three very strong El Niños, which this event may be very strong to potentially, if you can believe that, even stronger. 1982 to 83 was a big one. Look at that. The Central and South Valley did very well with rain, about 191% of average. So that was a significant event. 1997-98 also was a doozy of a system, not just the El Nino, but the storm systems coming across and onshore. The South Valley got about 183% of average, which was sizable. But the odd card was 1997 and 1982, but then fast forward to 2015 and 16, it was the opposite. A strong event, yet SoCal was so much drier than average, but remarkably, the South Valley did get over 100% of average, so pretty much normal. So either way you cut it, the last three strong events did favor either normal at the very least or significantly more so above normal rainfall when it came to our part of the world. Well, here's a look at the 99 earlier today with a lot of sunshine and high clouds coming on through the skies. As the sun set, you had the thickening effect of the cirrus, and the temperature made it up to 98 degrees. The average, 73 was the low, and 110 was the record for 1942. That was a hot time of things. Currently, numbers are still warm in the desert at 90, not so bad in LA at 70, and just under 100 in Vegas at this hour. Satellite shows us high pressure over southern Vegas, the low offshore, west of San Francisco, and the high clouds continue moving on in from that direction. That will be just that, high clouds and not much more. A look ahead to what we can expect. A little bit of a heat up continues to work its way in. Wednesday, Thursday, hundreds inbound for the South Valley. High clouds at times, still dry for the time being, but the desert may see sizzles, and the monsoon boundary would approach from the east and south in a couple days' time. We'll take a look at that. The bus stop forecast, here is a look at that. This morning was warm. Tomorrow could be even warmer. Tomorrow afternoon could be closing on in at 100 degrees, maybe 98 by about 2 to 3. Here's a look at the next 7 days. A mix of clouds and sun, mainly high clouds. Temperatures will be peaking on Wednesday to Thursday, but then we're tracking those monsoonal prospects right now staying just to the south and east, but that could change. The highs in the low to mid 90s maybe for some of our lower mountain elevations, and the KRV closing in on 100 by Wednesday and Thursday. The desert will be hot, like it or not, but once again, look out to the east and south. There could be some thunderstorms in view by late this week. More on that hopefully later on tonight. Back to you.